A Russian bomber flew low over Britain's flagship aircraft carrier. It ignored radio calls, dropped submarine hunting sensors into the sea below. British jets were airborne within minutes, chasing the Russian threat far into the skies. The Arctic encounter, the Shadow Fleet raids, and the growing game of brinkmanship in the high north. Something dangerous is unfolding between NATO and Russia. Somewhere above the icy waters off Norway, a Russian bomber dropped low, edging closer to Britain's most powerful warship until the sky answered back. UK's Ministry of Defence confirmed that a Russian Bear F maritime patrol aircraft repeatedly approached HMS Prince of Wales while the carrier operated in the Norwegian Sea on July 2nd, flying at low altitude and dropping a large number of sonobuoys, devices used to detect submarines dangerously close to the ship.
While operating in the Norwegian Sea on Operation Firecrest, the UK's carrier strike group was approached repeatedly by a Russian Bear F maritime patrol aircraft. The aircraft flew unnecessarily close to HMS Prince of Wales, dropped multiple sonobuoys nearby, and failed to respond on international safety frequencies.
In response to the unprovoked Russian aggression, 2 F-35 jets launched within minutes, intercepting the aircraft and escorting it away. British crews tried reaching the Russian pilots over international frequencies, but silence was the only reply. Facing MPs afterwards, Defence Secretary Dan Jarvis did not mince his words.
Russia's reckless military action involving NATO aircraft and airspace risks miscalculation and escalation.
The encounter unfolded as HMS Prince of Wales led Operation Firecrest, deployed off Iceland under NATO command with 1,500 British personnel aboard, alongside destroyer HMS Duncan, F-35 jets, and Merlin and Wildcat helicopters. Britain has just taken command of NATO's Rapid Response Spearhead Force for the first time, raising the stakes of any encounter at sea. This is not an isolated flashpoint. In May, a Russian jet flew within 20 feet of an RAF spy plane over the Black Sea in a maneuver known as a Crazy Ivan, forcing its systems into emergency mode. Weeks later, Royal Marines stormed the Russian-linked tanker Smertos in the English Channel, part of a shadow fleet smuggling sanctioned oil. Even Vladimir Putin's movements are under watch. Speaking to Politico, Jarvis declined to confirm whether the carrier was tracking the Russian leader's super yacht, reported sailing off Norway's coast, but hinted at what it might mean.
The fact that there's the movement of the yacht is another combat indicator that he is increasingly under pressure.
As of now, the Arctic remains calm, but Britain's carrier remains on station in the high north anyway, its jets fueled and waiting for the next intrusion. The only question is, when are the Russians coming back?
We were sailing from Leamington to Cherbourg, left at 4 a.m. this morning, and as we were coming about halfway across the channel, we saw in the distance a vessel. It wasn't showing on our AIS, so we couldn't identify it. And as we got closer, we saw that it was a warship. And as we got closer still, we saw it had Cyrillic lettering along the side. We were about 400 or 500 meters off. It was on our starboard side. It was motionless. It was not adrift, and it was holding station. We were sailing. It was 11 o'clock this morning, British time, and as we approached, they gave out 5 blasts on their horn, which means, "Have you seen us?" Mm-hmm. We immediately turned 2 degrees to port so that they could see we'd made a deliberate change of course, which meant we had seen them. And then a minute or so later, they gave another 5 blasts on their horn, immediately followed by 4 to 5 small arms fire that wasn't aimed at us. It was a warning fire that went up in the air, we believe. Alan had to stay on the helm because he was steering. Yeah. I crouched down on the floor and tried to get my lovely canvas could to protect me. We didn't really do a lot. We didn't figure that we were likely to actually get shot at, but we did. As soon as the warning shots came on, we put the engine on and went 90 degrees to port and got way out the way.
Way out of it, yeah.
It was surreal, and my immediate reaction was, I need to get on the VHF and call Salient Coast Guard and tell them what this Russian warship's doing. But I didn't want to use the VHF because they would have been able to hear us. So I had to wait a while to get a signal. Then I just dialed 999 for the Coast Guard. Oh, they took a great big statement off. As everything, they were very, are we safe? Which we were, because the bullets weren't aimed at us at all. And then we had a lot of back and forth. And then Joburg, which is the French Coast Guard, they got in touch with us. And then later on in the afternoon, about 2:00, Solent Coast Guard wanted to know our position, and within about half an hour, HMS Tyne, Royal Navy ship, came by to make sure that we were okay.
It's a bit embarrassing, really. We only came here to go on holiday, and we're doing something we've done many times in the past, and it just, well.
I mean, if it hadn't been for the gunshots, we wouldn't have reported it. It was just the fact that
they shouldn't really be firing or firing when people are around.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary, completely unnecessary.